Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we're going to pull on the Of Lost Kingdoms banner. They put so many characters that I love on this banner and so many excellent skills that I am really hoping that we can get some of these units today. So we will talk about this banner as we go along, but I just want to get to pulling. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I think that the plan for today is going to be to pull full circles just to be efficient because there is so much that I want on this banner. And I just want to get this out of the way before we get into things. I'm sorry that I sound really tired. I worked all day today. It's been a really long shift, and I feel like what's a better way to end our day than with some poor decisions? So even though I'm tired, we're going to go ahead and do this, and hopefully we get lucky. But in terms of the characters that I want the most on this banner, the duo has to be number one because they're both characters that I really, really like. And anytime that they add a new dancer to the game, I'll probably be interested. And this dancer duo is just so incredibly powerful. I think that the fact that they're on a horse and they're ranged and they have gray waves really kind of puts them at the top of dancers that we have available. And they're going to be useful in so many different modes, and they're also really adorable. So for all those reasons, I really hope that we can get them. And if we get to 40 and we don't get anything, that is who we're going to spark for. Hopefully it won't get to that. But if we don't get anything at the end, that's who we're going to take. But in terms of the other characters on the banner, I think that my second most wanted unit would be Carla, just because she was a character that I really loved in FE7, and she was definitely due for an alt, and I feel like they just did such an amazing job with her art. I also think she's going to be really powerful in her own right, so I'm really hoping that we can get her too. And hopefully that racing was a good sign of a Leanne to come, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed. And in addition to the duo and Carla, I also need like 5 copies of Zane. Not because I am attached to him as a character, but because his staff is amazing and I need one for my Sarah. And he also comes with Dazzling, which is really, really valuable. So I definitely want to get a couple copies of him if we can. And as for the last unit on the banner, we have Nyla, and I think she's really strong, but she's not a character that I am attached to. So if we get her, great, but if we don't get her, I will not be upset. So that does cover everybody on the banner. So we can probably go ahead and answer some viewer questions now. And as always, if I did not get your question, I am so sorry. I will try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just leave it in the comments with #question, and I will put your question on my list. So our first question today comes from Illuminite, and they ask, if you were able to swap any of the mythic units in AR between their seasons, like Sothis from Dark to Light, who would it be and why? So I would have to say I would pick Triandra to go from Dark to Light because she is my favorite Fae OC, and I really don't feel like I get to use her as much as I would like to because she is on defense. So if they made her a light mythic and I could use her on AR offense, I would be so happy. I do use her regardless, but being able to use her more in AR would make me really, really happy. But thank you for that great question. And we get a Camilla. All right, so let's go ahead and answer another one. And this question comes from Stale Bread. And they ask, I was wondering what your ethnicity is, but please only answer if you feel comfortable. Okay, so I'm totally comfortable answering this. I am primarily German and Italian with a little bit of French mixed in. My dad actually spoke German to me when I was a kid. Unfortunately, I did not retain it, but I grew up hearing German and I really love the language. And I had amazing Italian food growing up from my mom's side. So overall, I had a lot of great cultural influences growing up. And yeah, that's who I am. But thank you for that great question. Okay, Smoke, please be Zane. And we get a Kagero. All right, so let's go ahead and answer another question. And this comes from Chaos. And they ask, now that Ascended Heroes are definitely confirmed to pull from every game and not just Heroes, would you rather get an Ascended Xander or a Legendary Xander? Oh gosh, I would take either one, but if I were able to choose, oh gosh, I think that I would say Ascended just because he would be added to the regular pool and we don't have a Xander in the regular pool, and he would be able to get 2 Ascended stats. That would be really nice. But really, at the end of the day, I would be so happy with either one, and I'm really hoping that we see him in the future. But thank you for that great question. And we get a Tanya. All right, so let's pull this next blue, and we will answer another one. And this question comes from Maru P. And they ask, what characters would you like to see in Hall of Forms in the next year? Okay, so there are so many characters that I'm hoping for this next year. And I did see the leak for the next one coming up, and I'm not super excited by those choices because I was really hoping for some form of Marianne or Petra. But I'm hoping that maybe the next time it comes around, we'll see those characters. But in addition to those two, I would love to see characters like any of the fairies. That would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see the Year 2 Brave units. That would be really, really nice. I would love to see Camus and Cormag and regular Micaiah. And another character that's like never going to happen, but I would love to see would be Summer Corrin. I know she's super old, but I still love that character. I still use her to this day, and I'd love to give her some updated skills. So for the most part, those are the ones that I hope for. Oh my goodness. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Oh my gosh, it's the wrong Azura. Oh my goodness. You know what? I have never pulled one this way before. Oh my gosh. And she is plus attack. We take that for sure. You know, the only one that I've ever gotten was the Resplendent, so she's going to be plus attack now, and that is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Maru P, for that very lucky question. And, oh, holy smokes. Oh my gosh. We got Zane. Oh my goodness. I am so, so excited to see him. That is amazing. And he is plus attack. So for now, we will keep him, but if we don't get another one, sadly, I will have to feed him to my Sarah just because she really deserves that staff. So let's go ahead and answer another question. And this next one comes from Sanchino Plays. And they ask, what is a character that you don't think gets as much love in Fae, but you built and heavily invested in anyway? So I feel like half of my plus 10 units would fall into this category. I think that some of the more prominent ones that come to mind would be female Corrin, because she's a character that I almost never see, but her PRF is actually pretty good, and I really enjoy using her, so I think she's definitely one. And another one would be Matthew, because his PRF is also excellent, and oh my goodness, we got Zeke. That is absolutely amazing. I love Zeke. Okay, let's check IVs. And he's plus attack minus speed. I think that we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here. So we will just keep going, and hopefully we get maybe another Zane or two in this circle. But getting back to this lucky question from Sanchino Plays, I think that Matthew is another one that's really underrated. PRF is amazing, and if you have close counter advantage, he works really, really well. And another one that is not underrated, but I built him anyway, would be Bunny Xander, just because I love him. But thank you again for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. And this comes from Chris England. And they ask, with the release of Ignatz, we now have every student from each house represented in the game. Do you think that IS will jump off of 3 houses for a little while? Oh gosh. You know, I really don't think that we are going to have like a drought of 3 houses characters. And that's just because I feel like it is a game that still sells very well. And I think we're going to have banners that are more lucrative. So I feel like that makes sense for them to continue to put out some 3 houses characters. And I'm not someone who's tired of 3 houses. I still really enjoy it. But I do understand that some people do have fatigue. So I definitely understand where they are coming from. But I feel like there are so many of those time skip characters that we have not seen yet that we will continue to see those characters come up in the future. But thank you for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. And this question comes from Jake Crissell. And they ask, with the addition of Legendary Fae, there now seems to be a much wider possibility for who Legendary Heroes will be. So what unlikely character would you like to see get a legendary form? So I was really excited to see Faye because she really did open up a lot of possibilities for new characters. And I think that the biggest ones for me would be Lara Shell and definitely Alencia as well. Because I think that they are important enough that they could be a legendary character, But now that we have Ascendants, I think that they could also fill that role too. So those are definitely the two biggest ones for me, but another character that I think has a good chance would be Myrrh, because she is fairly similar to Faye in the story, and I do kind of feel like she is sort of legendary. So those are the characters that I really like to see. But thank you for that great question. And we get a cane. Okay, so 5 more pulls. Hopefully we can get another focus unit. Otherwise, we will have to spark for the duo, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed. Okay, Smoke. Please be the duo. Oh my goodness. Not the duo, but I am always happy to see Orochi. All right, so we will have to spark for them, but maybe we can get a clutch Carla, and let's go ahead and answer one more question. And this comes from Wyglaff, and they ask, what are your thoughts on the new skins for Mona, Jean, Rosaria, and Amber in Genshin? So for the most part, I like the base designs in Genshin, and I think that the only one that I am going to switch when those become available is Rosaria, because I really do like the new design. But I love Jean's base design. It's one of my favorite in the game, and the other ones are really good too. So really, Rosaria is the only one that I'm going to switch whenever we get those. But thank you for that great question. Okay, Smoke. Maybe it's another Zane. It's a Sakura. All right, we will do our last pull, and then we'll be at our 40. Maybe we'll get a clutch Nyla. Who knows? Okay, 3-star. And we get a null. That's totally fine. All right, so we hit our 40, and we are going to go ahead and spark for the duo. Yes, I am super, super sure. Yay! Oh my goodness, they are so adorable. I love them so, so much. I'm so glad we were able to get them. And we get the thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and end things here. We got the duo and Zane and the wrong Azura. And overall, I'm really happy with how this went. I do want to thank everybody that submitted questions. I really, really appreciate the support. And if you were pulling on this banner, I wish you the best of luck. So as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.